Call me old-fashioned, but it's a generally accepted principle of business and government that when one is doing a deal, one strikes the deal first and then does the marketing and the public relations. Not our Prime Minister, Scott Morrison. Not that fella down under.
And I want to thank that fella down under. Thank you very much, pal.
He does the marketing and the PR first, and the deal may or may not follow. Now, what we've seen is a new alliance, an alliance for freedom, a grand alliance being announced, this magnificent announcement, and this superb marketing and PR campaign, unrivaled anywhere in business circles. Nobody gets headlines like this, not even Gerry Harvey. So early yesterday morning, there was a scoop in the Fin Review. French submarines deal is dead. About half an hour later, that story began to slide down the rankings on the website until a little while later it vanished entirely. Meanwhile, over Rupert Murdoch's The Australian, suddenly this nuclear submarine deal had been announced with the US and AUKUS had been born. AUKUS. The French aren't involved, of course. We've scotched their submarine deal, having spent $2 billion on it. Overnight, they heard about it at the same time as the public relations and the marketing was being done.
France sees this as literally a knife in the back, a stab in the back, and a betrayal on the part of a trusted ally.
There may well be a break fee on that deal, which is the fee that you pay when you break a commitment to do a deal. It's a $90 billion transaction, so the break fee might be up to $10 billion, who knows? But that did not deter that fella down under and his merry band of deal doers or marketers and public relations people. It was a good thing the French, of course, weren't involved in the deal in the AUKUS, because if the French had been involved in AUKUS, we'd be calling it FUCKUS. Here are some of the headlines. The Australian, alliance for the ages as China threat grows. AUKUS pact to deliver sovereign nuclear sub-missile program for greatest projection of our military power into the Indo-Pacific. And the editorial of the day, Friends in Freedom. Friends in Freedom, step up. Over at the other member of the media duopoly at the Australian Financial Review, which is owned by Nine Entertainment Group, no one's talking snub now as Grand Alliance surfaces, the most important trilateral gathering for Australia in 70 years. We don't know what it is because no deal has been done. Apart from an announcement, we don't know where we're going to get the uranium to propel these nuclear submarines. We don't know how we're going to dispose of the nuclear waste, which could be problematic because that fella down under certainly won't be wanting the nuclear waste disposed of in Cook, in the Shire down Cronulla Way, where he is the local member. Whose local member will it be? Who will get the nuclear waste in their electorate? There was a strange plaintive cry headline buried among the bigger stories in the Financial Review. It just said simply, New Zealand is missing from AUKUS. So Jacinda Ardern is sticking to the New Zealand tried and tested individual foreign policy, successful foreign policy of no nuclear. So we burned the French, we burned the New Zealanders. She said these subs won't be coming into New Zealand waters. We burnt $2 billion already on an actual deal that was happening. And what we have now is a non-deal with no time frame, no design, nothing, just an announcement. Politically, it is a brilliant distraction from Christian Porter's secret law case funding, from the biggest transfer of wealth in history, the mother of all bailouts. It's a distraction from the botched vaccine rollout, from the biggest public health debacle in generations. It's a distraction from a myriad of domestic political problems, which all come back to one thing: incompetence. And where does it lead the national attention? Well, it's already happening for the past few days in The Australian. They're ramping up the China rhetoric. This AUKUS deal is quite clearly designed as a political deal to ramp up the anti-China rhetoric and win the election. Politically, there is nothing more potent than a foreign threat to keep a government in power. They know this, They failed miserably at everything else. They can't do a deal. They can only do an announcement. And now we're going to see China story after China story. They're going to ramp up this China invading Australia rhetoric. On Sky News, they'll be foaming at the mouth and gnashing the teeth, bashing the desk. Enjoy that we're going to go and have a war with China because, of course, Murdoch loves a war. He's cheered every failed invasion that Australia has been involved in since Vietnam. But ScoMo doesn't care because he is doing his marketing and PR. And the public relations people at the Fin Review, at Nine Entertainment, at Seven, all the corporate media, particularly News Corp, they are doing his bidding. They are saying what a wonderful a deal it is when there is not even a deal there. Here at Michael West Media, we're going to follow the money on this, and we're not going to fall prey to this ridiculous marketing and PR fluff. Please support us in this cause. Thank you.